Hi, this is Steven DeRock, the writer director of The Rage, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 182. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Werewolves Within. We also have an interview. Steve, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, so we interviewed Steven DeRock. He is the writer-director of a short film called The Rage, and it's been winning a bunch of awards at festivals all around North America. It's his first film, and he's a friend of mine, so I figured we'd interview him, talk about what it's like to do a short and all that stuff. He's a great interview, great guy, and I foresee big things within his career. So it's a fun interview, so check it out at the end of the episode.
Very cool. So you heard Steve, you heard myself, Todd. We have Joe's on. We got Sonya Blade herself again. I know I've used that joke in the past, but I'm going to use it again.
Go for
Sam. Guys, I have some disturbing news for you.
Ooh. What?
You guys are all aware of my supernatural things in my various homes, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I got a new Ring camera, and I put it in my basement. And let's just say that if you're into orbs, if you believe orbs are not dust, then I have quite the problem. If you think it's just dust, then maybe I need a dust. But seeing a lot of orb issues, so
I want to see.
You should put that up in like a ghost group and see what people say.
I definitely should. So I'm just glad, like, you know, Reagan's not coming to life in the middle of the night walking around the basement. That'd be freaky.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But yeah, what's up with you guys?
Not much. Just had a good 4th. Sam and I went over to a friend's house and
Joe got a new tattoo.
I got a new tattoo. Yes. I got a Freddy Krueger tattoo. You can check it out. I posted it in the Discord and all my social medias, so you can check it out. I'm extremely happy with it. It came out great.
Joe, you should tell them about you posting it in the group,
Oh, yeah. I posted it in like a random horror group, and they were like, that's completely not your tattoo. First of all, it looks way too fresh, way too healed for like a brand new tattoo. I was like, well, like it's mine. I was like, I mean, the guy like was constantly wiping it like to make sure it looked good for the pictures and stuff. And like, and then she replied, "It's your lie. Tell you how you want it," or like whatever. And then she deleted the post and like blocked me from the group.
Over a tattoo? Wow.
Over a tattoo.
Which group is this?
I think it was called like Halloween and horror memes or something like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he also posted.
It was too nice. That's the problem.
Yeah, he posted a photo of himself showing his tattoo.
Yeah.
And then that's when the lady like kicked him out because I felt like a dumbass. But it's like, who argues about this stuff?
Yeah, but there was a little bit of space in between my Freddy and Jack Torrance, so I also added Danny on his little trike there as well to fill the space, so that was pretty cool too.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
looks great.
I got Freddy there.
You think that's your favorite one?
Yeah, it might be because Freddy's always been my favorite. It's hard to pick; they're all kind of like your babies, you know, because you sit through them and stuff. But yeah, I'd go. I think this Freddy one might be my favorite. Cool. And now on to the next.
Yeah, do you have an idea for the next one?
No. You need to buy a new laptop first.
Yeah, for real.
It's like $300 for a good one.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. He was asking me. I don't know. I'm leaning towards maybe like a Halloween Michael Myers piece, but we'll see. I have some other ideas too. So
how much do you tip, Joe, on your tattoos? Are you like a $20 tipper?
I tip like 20% usually. So
you're a pretty good tipper.
On this one, it was like a couple $100 tip. So
sheesh.
Yeah. He stayed for a long time. I mean, I was there for over 10 hours. So we watched It Chapter 2. It's like, cause he put on, he has like Chromecast. So like he let me just put on whatever I wanted. So we watched It Chapter 2. I'm sorry, It Chapter 1, A House of a Thousand Corpses, The Descent, Hell House LLC, and Hatchet. Like all of those movies in that sitting. So that's how long I was there for. It was insane. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Just
yeah, it honestly, it was like the least painful tattoo I've had though. But like the last hour and a half I did start to feel it.
Yeah, I find with long sessions, it's less the tattoo and more just like my back or my like, just being
Yeah.
uncomfortable, like physically just sitting there so long. Yeah.
Yeah, the position I was in, my neck was like, honestly, my neck pain was worse than the tattoo. Like it was brutal. Like, yeah, but
And now your house smells like A&D ointment.
no, like, cause I use, he uses Sanoderm, which is like the best healing thing ever. It's basically this like clear plastic wrap that goes over the tattoo and you keep it on for between 5 and 7 days. And it's like, I've only used it with, this tattoo artist, and it's like, my tattoos heal so nice.
That's awesome. And everyone had a good 4th of July. Didn't get too sick.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like the worst. It was one of the worst hangovers I've had in a long time the next day, but it was fun. We sang a lot of karaoke, and it was a blast.
Yeah, and we took Raven, and she got to hang out off of a leash and just hung out, sniffed everyone. It was nice not having to like worry about her 24/7.
Yeah.
It was good that we could just trust her, kind of.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, hangovers don't get any easier as you age. So, yeah, you gotta watch your drinking. That's for sure. All right, you guys ready for some questions?
Let's do it.
All right, you can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast, or, of course, on our Discord. Just ask us for the link. Always a good time in there. A lot of great people. It's been growing, and the conversations are just really, really cool over there. So the first question comes to us from Mandy. She says, "Hey, squad, you all talked a bit about the butterfly effect last week. Is there a moment in your life that you remember having to make a choice, and that choice has completely changed the trajectory of your life? Do you think what would have happened if you made another choice?"
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to get too personal, but I have been divorced. So like if, I had made a different decision, that totally I probably would have never met Sam. So yeah.
Yeah, mine's along the same line. Like I was engaged. And so I wonder, like, my life would have been so different if I was just married and stayed in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, I am the same person for both of those. Engaged to Sam, married to Joe.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a pretty deep one, huh? I guess little things can like change things, huh? Like deciding not to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think my wife rejected me a couple times, and then nothing creepy like like those weird guys go after, but like just being persistent. So if you would have given up, then no wife, no kids, no this house, nothing. So small stuff.
Todd, I'd just like to mention, ever since you mentioned the ghost thing, the lights above me have been flickering like crazy, like insanely crazy.
Didn't Sam say something about that where she thinks someone communicates? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been going off like crazy for the past like few minutes here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to hold on. You probably can't see it, yeah, but they're going.
Typical ghost story. It's giving you a sign, Joe. It's telling you get a new computer.
Probably.
We need your mom in your stat.
Right. For me, it's along the same lines, I guess. So I met my wife online, and I used a service called OkCupid. And the way OkCupid works is every week it gives you 3 quivers, which is 3 people they send to you based off the answers that you gave to like a bunch of questions that you got in your questionnaire. And she was one of those quivers. And I initially said no, because I had 3 cardinal things that I absolutely did not want in a partner. And one of them was non-smoking. And she was a smoker. So I said, no, I'm not going to take her. But I didn't delete it, which I always did. But for this one time, I didn't delete it. And after a week, they expire, and then you get sent the new batch. Well, so when the new batch came in, the day before the new batch was going to come in, I was having a particularly down day. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'll message this girl. Maybe I can make her change and become a non-smoker, which I did successfully. And sure enough, I ended up marrying her. So,
Aw, I never knew you guys met online.
yeah, we did. Her next question: which horror video game would you like to see turned into a movie?
Yes, because Werewolves Within apparently is based off a video game, which I guess maybe Steve will be the expert on that one. I had no idea, but what would I like to see? I think Fatal Frame, because I love that game, and I've talked about it a few times on the show, and it's very scary, and I think it could be made into a really creepy movie too.
I feel like I don't know a lot of horror games that haven't already been turned into a video game, so I don't have an answer for this one.
Steve might say this one, so I'm going to steal it anyway. Dead Space would be a really good video game adaptation because it's super scary and super gory already. So like a big budget. Oh, Steve's going to say BioShock probably. Yeah, but no, Dead Space would be awesome. If you don't know the plot, it's, you know, space. They go to a derelict ship, they board it. There's some shenanigans going on with like monsters coming around, but it's super gory, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Dead Space is a great one, but I am going to say BioShock. In BioShock, yeah, a guy builds a city underwater because it's free of all like government and religious like blockages, so they can do whatever they want. So they start experimenting on people with different drugs who become like crazy. And this guy later goes into this abandoned underwater city and has to deal with all the crazy people. And it's an amazing it's one of the best video games ever, and I think it would make an amazing movie. It was actually supposed to be made by Gore Verbinski, who did Pirates of the Caribbean, but the budget was $330 million. So they nixed
it. Wouldn't have made it back either because video games don't usually do that well.
No, exactly.
Bummer.
Yeah. Her next question: with the exception of Salem, because where would be the best place to take a horror vacation and why?
I know Sam wants to go here really bad, and it's like I think one of the next obvious choices, although it will cost a lot of money, Transylvania.
Or Sleepy Hollow. That's like at the top of my list too.
Yeah, we're thinking about going there actually this fall. So.
Where is Sleepy Hollow at?
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
And also, I'm really surprised. I don't know what has made me realize this, but Connecticut is so spooky and scary. Like, I feel like it's more than what Salem is. And I don't know why people don't talk about Connecticut more. I feel like it's really underrated. I don't know specific locations or anything like that, but I feel like that should be like the, I don't know, holy grail of like ghosts and goblins and New England. Is it considered part of New England?
Connecticut is not. I don't believe Connecticut is. That's part of the tri-state, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Yeah.
Well, don't sleep, or should I say, don't creep on Connecticut, because I feel like it's really scary and haunted.
Yeah, Rhode Island too, which apparently someone told me you can now stay at the Conjuring House. They turned it into like a bed and breakfast or something. So you can. We might have to look into that, Sam.
We should all go there. Let's plan like a couples trip.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for sure. What about you, Todd? What do you think?
I don't know. Nothing really pops in my mind. Like, I guess you got to go like old Europe, right? Where there's been thousands of years of history, so thousands of years of paranormal stuff.
Mm-hmm. Where's that other place? Where's that other place, Sam? That's like a Halloween sort of like where Halloween originated or whatever. Is it Anoka?
Is it Anoka? I have to see it to pronounce it.
It's gonna be in trivia.
It's in
what do you remember what state? I think
Minnesota.
I think it's called Anoke, Minnesota.
Halloween started in Minnesota of all places?
Apparently, like
I don't
that's
know
where
if it started there, but it's like also known as Halloween Town.
I'm going to do a little Wikipedia search.
Go for it.
But Steve, you can continue on.
Yeah. And my answer, and I told her this, is because she's actually looking to book a vacation for a horror place, is actually Los Angeles. You know, I mean, a lot of serial killers are from there. A lot of the horror films are filmed there. So there's a lot of horror places in Los Angeles. I mean, it's not the first thing people think of, but when you really like deep dive into it, there's a lot of stuff to do. As far as horror history goes, both real life horror and fictional horror.
You'd like the Queen Mary, Steve, if you ever get to Long Beach.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, I think you talked about in the past, and that's definitely something I would.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so Anoka is considered the Halloween capital of the world. Well, I don't know about that, but because it hosted one of the.
No, I think it's true.
It's because it hosted one of the first Halloween parades in 1920, and it continues to celebrate the holiday each year with several parades. So there you go.
I'm reading it's Celtic from 2,000 years ago in the United Kingdom in France.
Well, in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Leave it to America to just take something and be like, no,
That's
we
what
were
we do,
first.
baby.
Right.
You better watch this, Steve. We're coming for you.
Right.
That's it. We're claiming Steve.
All right.
1920 Anoka. Got it. Here it is.
Her last.
Plagued by a band of merry pranksters. That's cool.
Cool. All right. Her last one is a little bit longer. Small story, if I may. I was wearing a horror shirt at a store and some guy stopped me out of nowhere to tell me I'm not a real fan of horror films and I shouldn't wear horror shirts. He then said, if you're really a horror fan, prove it to me. Tell me one thing only a true horror fan would know. Let's just say he got more than he bargained for, but I thought it made for an interesting question. What obscure horror fact would you say if asked that question? Oh, and fuck gatekeepers.
Yeah, I'd be like, I wouldn't even entertain him. I'd be like, you know what, dude, fuck you.
Not either. Okay, who is this from?
Said Bandy.
What shirt was she wearing
I
that the
think
guy
he
would
was
be
just
so
trying
triggered?
to pick you up. I think he was hoping that he could
Maybe.
date you, like being a fucking douchebag, thinking, "Oh, I'm so fucking clever," and it's like, shut the fuck up and get out of my face.
He was watching. He was watching too much of that show. Remember that show where it was like the matchmaker where the guy would like train all the guys to like nag on the girls and stuff like that. Do you remember that? It was like on VH1 or something like that. It was so weird.
Ew, no.
Yeah, if there's one thing I could tell you about Mandy, though, is that guy is probably buried somewhere in a swamp.
Yeah.
like,
He has some
like,
broken legs.
She probably destroyed him. But yeah, anyway, we talked about this situation. She didn't actually answer it. She just told him to fuck off. But she thought it was a great question. So what's an obscure horror fact that you guys would tell someone if asked about? Like,
God, I'd be like, well, if someone really said that to me, I'd be like, well, I'd show 'em my tattoos. that'd be like the one thing I would do.
but they're not real, Joe. They're not even yours.
No, I know they're not mine. They're completely fake. I rip them off other people's skin and paste them onto my body. God, an obscure horror fact. I'd be like, okay, well, did you know that
you are a bitch? And then
Yeah. Like when you get put on the spot like that,
I know,
it's like I have so much like useless random horror knowledge in my head, but like
you just gotta hit him with the quiz, like name the starring cast of blah 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 blah. blah. Fuck,
I'll hit him
that
with
guy.
this one. I'll be like, well, in Jennifer's body, the band is named Low Shoulder.
yeah.
I
Didn't
can
know
picture.
that?
I can picture that guy though if he's ballsy enough to say something, be like, "Well, Jennifer's Body is like a Hollywood horror movie."
Yeah.
I'm talking about who wrote the sequel to like the stupidest fucking movie you've ever heard, like something.
Right.
Screw that guy, man.
Mhm.
You're a little bitch.
Yeah, I hate that. Oh, you're not a true horror fan. Okay, well, what the fuck is a true horror? What does that even mean?
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
I mean,
Some people are like, well, you can't. You like Michael Myers? Who like he's standard. Everyone likes Michael Myers. You gotta like
oh, you got a Freddy
Sodom
Krueger?
and shit. Yeah.
You got a Freddy Krueger tattoo? Ugh, fake fan.
Yeah. Fuck him.
I wonder if she's wearing the Horror Squad shirt she got.
just
wouldn't that be
cast a
funny?
spell on him next time.
Yeah, what I thought of, because for the question was, did you know there was a Turkish almost shot-for-shot remake of The Exorcist called Satan?
Love it.
Oh,
And it's
That's
I
not
didn't know
bad.
that. I guess I'm not a true horror fan then.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, you did.
I did know that. Maybe I forgot.
I was so excited about when I found out that it was on Tubi, or when I found out it existed, that I set up my new TV in my new house and got up at 3 a.m. on my birthday to watch it.
Okay.
Like I couldn't sleep. That's how excited I was about watching this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. It's just, and it didn't disappoint. So, yeah. All right.
That's like
But
my
yeah.
no. That was like my daughter today telling me, "Hey, did you know that they're making a new Halloween movie?" I'm like, "Please." And then we talked about Halloween for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw them, man.
Yeah.
That bugs me.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck gatekeepers. All right. So the next question comes to us from horror fan Ryan. What is your favorite werewolf movie?
Generic, maybe not a true horror fan answer, but American Werewolf in London. Like it's the first one I ever saw, and it still holds up as the best werewolf movie I've ever seen.
Was there a remake with what's his name
Sequel.
from That Thing You Do?
Yep.
Tom
Sequel.
Everett.
Yeah, American Werewolf in Paris. Mhm.
I
I,
want
wa-
to
I
watch that
rewatched it again. Yeah, I rewatched
Is it good?
Does it hold up?
I
I
think
mean,
it
I
would.
don't think it was good the first time, but it's
Okay.
not terrible in my opinion.
Mm.
The CGI is really bad, like terribly bad.
Mm.
But favorite werewolf. I really like Dog Soldiers by Neil Marshall. Or no, is
Yeah.
that Neil Marshall? Yeah. Um, so I'm not gonna steal Joe's because that's actually is my favorite one, Werewolf in London. But Dog Soldiers is excellent.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's like soldiers, English soldiers fighting
Yeah.
werewolves.
I just
How
watched
old
that
is
one.
it?
15 maybe. Years?
Yeah. It's pretty good. I watched it for the first time like a year or two ago. It was solid.
What about Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet's great.
It's a great one. Yeah.
People,
Not a fan of that one, man.
yeah,
You're
a lot
not
of people.
Todd? How come?
Not
I
Gary
don't know.
Busey guy, huh?
I love Gary. Remember his reality show?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. No, I like Gary Busey and I like Corey Haim. I didn't like the combination. I don't think. I don't like Ginger Snaps either. I know that one's loved too.
Yeah, I
like
didn't.
that one.
I didn't like Ginger Snaps either.
Yeah, I didn't love it either. No.
Really?
Yeah.
It is beloved though. Like we're definitely in the minority. Most people
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
definitely become a cult classic.
Definitely.
I like Underworld too. I know it's like half and half vampires, werewolves, but
Yeah.
I
And the
think
one
I've
with-
only seen the first two.
The one with D.
There's five
Wallace
now?
is really good too. The Howling, right, with D. Wallace.
I'm not a fan of the Howling either.
It's good. It's a little slow, but man, like the last like 45 minutes gets like really, really good. So
I just remember there's a transformation, but it's like a drawing, right?
yeah.
Like they draw it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
But is everyone's favorite though American Werewolf in London?
Probably, yeah, definitely.
Me would
think
be
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
But the first one I ever saw was Teen Wolf, and I thought that was awesome.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
think they're wrong with Jay
Yeah, I
Fox.
can't
Yeah.
forget Teen Wolf.
I love Michael J. Fox, so it was.
Oh.
All right.
Unrelated, but Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd would be at a con for like $800 to get like
Whoa.
a group photo. I was like,
Yeah. They did Boston Comic Con a couple years ago, and yeah, I think it was around the same price.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sam's really excited because they just announced 90s Con coming up next year in where did I say, Sam? Connecticut. It's like a
I
couple
think
hours,
Connecticut.
couple hours away from us, and they're doing like a full cast Sabrina the Teenage Witch reunion. So Sam's really excited.
That's pretty cool.
When in next year?
Oh, Steve's in.
In
That's his
April.
childhood.
I might be in.
Yeah.
Like,
I
He's
think
glowing.
I think it's in April.
I think it's in
Oh,
April.
oh,
I'll send
fine.
you. I'll send you the info. We haven't like bought tickets or anything yet.
oh
but
yeah, there's a lot of time, but
the Sabrina full. It's like the Sabrina, obviously, and then the aunts, and then
Libby, Harvey.
Libby and Harvey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Would you
can
get some signatures, Sam? I know you're not really big on signatures, but
I
would you
Would
get
I'd probably get one of my Sabrina teenage books signed, I think.
That's cool.
Would you
Mhm.
get the photo op with the whole cast too?
I think so.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
I always
couple
say
$100
that, but then by the time I'm there, it's like I have no energy. But I know this one I'll regret it if I don't.
Hey, Joe, how much was Richard Dreyfuss when you got his signature?
It was a while ago. I think it was 60. I want to
60?
say. Yeah.
He's at that con come up in a week and a half, so I might get him. Not
He's
sure.
You mentioned it about someone the other. He's getting old, man.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Yeah.
You know, you might want to jump on, and he cancels a lot of cons.
I might
so,
do that.
yeah.
Tony Moran's going to be there too, and I haven't got him
Oh.
yet. So,
Yeah.
and then greasy guys. So
Nice.
I should get Dreyfuss. though. You're right. He's
You
up
should.
there.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Jaws, man, legend.
Real quick, Joe, do you remember when you were at a horror con and you had Tony Moran call me and he was like super drunk?
So drunk. Yes, I do. He was shit faced. Like he was shit faced the whole weekend. I remember. Yeah.
That
But,
was
you
so
know.
fun though.
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening for him like ramble on about like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. What a thing. The guy was like literally in the movie for like 5 minutes, and like he's just like capitalizing on it so
Yeah.
good. Him and
Wouldn't
Warren
you?
Gillette. Yeah. Oh, of course I would. Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, speaking of Halloween, that Halloween pinball machine, I don't know if you watched the video for it, Todd, but I showed Sam and Steve, and I know Steve watched the video. That thing looks like
Yeah.
the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like
It's
amazing.
What is it like?
beautiful.
4,000?
Probably more. Probably
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
I know. When Sid was still alive, he was selling House of Thousand Corpses pinball machine.
Wow, that's
Wow.
cool.
Fucking like amazing for like
Yeah.
3,000. But
Yeah,
it was like instantly sold.
I can imagine. There's a Nightmare on Elm Street one that's like amazing. They had it at a con. It was like they were selling it for like 6,000 or 7,000. I like really considered it back then, but now I'm glad I didn't because I wouldn't have like fucking any room for it right now. But
You gotta make room for that.
it's definitely
I would make room for that.
It's a grail piece for sure. One day I think I will. Once like we buy a house and stuff, I think I will own it one day. It's like Wayne, it will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
All right. Next question comes to us for Weezerface. What werewolf movie do you think? Sorry, what werewolf in a movie do you think looks best?
Ooh, we forgot to mention Late Phases. That was a fun one too.
Yeah,
blind
Late Phases was pretty good. I mean, I still go with American Werewolf. I think that werewolf looks fucking awesome. But the Dog Soldiers, those werewolves look really cool too.
Yeah, that's the best transformation scene. Period.
Yeah.
Werewolf in London, and then I really like when he's doing a rampage around town, like grabbing cops' throats and ripping them out and like slicing people. Yeah, it's great.
Actually, I think I might be fact checked on this, but I think the the robot head that made that transformation for American Werewolf in London is the one they use at the horror makeup show at Universal Studios in Orlando. It's either the one they use for the movie or it's one of the backups. But it's like super cool the way that it like works and everything. And that's the movie they use to explain kind of how makeup was and how it works and everything and how revolutionary that transformation was for film. So it's definitely great. I mean, that's for sure. Her next question, a quandary. Would a werewolf in Alaska, think 30 Days of Night, be in wolf form for 3 straight days?
I don't understand.
Because it's
always dark,
for like days at a time.
I guess if
Be
it's
a
a
werewolf for
full
30
moon,
days?
if it's a full moon, like the whole time, yeah,
You get 3 days of full moon.
I would say yeah, then totally. I mean, why wouldn't it not change, right? Like,
that's crazy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's just the way it is. So don't go to Alaska if you're a werewolf, I guess. And her last question, it's a Marry Fuck Kill, Werewolf Girls edition.
ooh,
So Anna Paquin in Trick or Treat, Christina Ricci in Cursed, or Dee Wallace in The Howling.
I've never seen Cursed, actually.
Me neither.
Neither.
Same.
So I'm going to marry Christina Ricci for sure in Cursed. Hopefully she's old enough in that movie. I don't know. But...
Yes.
All right.
It's one of Wes's latest or last ones.
And then I guess I'm gonna fuck Dee Wallace in
All right,
The Howling,
give it, Dee.
and then I'm gonna kill Anna Paquin. Sorry,
I'm-
Anna.
I'm gonna kill Anna. Sorry, Anna. And then I'll fuck Christina, and then I'll marry Dee.
Same as me. Same for me.
Not me. I'm gonna kill Dee Wallace.
Come on.
I'll marry Christina Ricci because that when I was a kid, she was like my top, like for sure. And honestly, a while ago, I would have killed Anna Paquin, but I saw what she's like in either True Blood or the other one that was like at the same time that was like True Blood. I forget which of the two, but she is fucking wild. So I think it'd make for a good night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think it's True Blood.
But what if she smoked?
I could change her mind. I could convince her it's bad. I used to make my wife smoke outside. Like it didn't matter if it was -40. I'd be like, "You're not smoking in here," and then she'd go outside, and then I have a coffee inside and just watch her.
She liked you, Steve.
Yeah.
He's just creeping out of the blind with his cozy robe and fucking
I'd
Yeah.
just be
coffee.
proving my point that is it really worth to
It's-
smoke that death stick outside? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Because it almost killed my dad, and
Yep.
I grew up just hating cigarettes, so
Mm.
I have beef with cigarettes.
Yeah.
Next year's questions comes to us from Chuck, Captain Amazing 85. What werewolf movie has the best transition? I guess we pretty much all agreed it's Werewolf in London.
The worst. What would you guys say?
The worst?
Worst.
I feel like I haven't seen a ton of werewolf movies.
Fucking Twilight, probably.
Hey, come on.
It's pretty
Come
lame.
on. Come on, man.
You
I
know,
think The Howling is lame because it's literally a drawing.
yeah, the how, yeah, the how. Well, there's like they do show like an actual transition at one point.
Maybe I'm thinking about the sex.
You're- no, you're
sex
thinking.
scene?
I think you're thinking of the Creep Show one where they do the drawings. to show the transformation.
Some
Oh yeah.
This isn't like vindicative of the movie as a whole, which we'll get into later. But I didn't love the transformation in tonight's movie. So I'll say that.
Yeah, I have that in my notes as well.
Yeah.
There's a movie I watched, and I don't remember which one it is, but the guy literally just stands there, and you see like patches of hair, like jump cutting onto him.
It's Wolf Cop.
Is it Wolf Cop? It's been a
Might be
while.
Wolf Cop. I've only seen the one time.
And it's really bad. It's just like hair essentially like jump cutting until he's a werewolf. And it's just terrible.
Know what we haven't mentioned yet, and Sam, I'm very surprised by you actually.
What?
I mean, I consider him a werewolf. I guess it's more of a werecat, but
Oh, yeah, Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
Thriller.
It's a
Yeah.
werecat. We've been told by Sam before.
It's
I
still
lost a
an
trivia
awesome
point to that.
It's still an awesome transformation
It's
scene.
yeah, it definitely is.
Which
Yeah.
Rick Baker, right? I think he used for
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. But I was told by Sam, no, werewolf is wrong. No point
Well,
for
'cause
you. It's a
I used to
werecat.
say werewolf, and I remember
Yeah.
people were like, "You're not a
Close
real
en-
Michael Jackson fan. It's a werecat."
Close enough.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
Oh, definitely a vampire.
Definitely a vampire, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Because like, what's really the benefits of being a werewolf? Like vampire, like you like can live forever.
I think you're
Like,
stronger as
Strong.
werewolf.
Oh, werewolf?
Yeah.
You think?
I mean, because you're a wolf, right?
Vampires
more-
are pretty
you're more-
strong too.
Yeah, but you're more beastly.
Mm,
I'll go
Or you're a
vampire
hot
as well.
Native American guy from Twilight.
yeah.
Burst
I'm a
deep
night.
reference there.
I'm a night person anyway, so you can sleep during the day, which I already do, so that's great. And you know,
And I hate the sunshine, so yep.
You're already halfway there, huh?
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that was good.
I'll be the odd one out. I'll be a werewolf. I'll wear like a trench coat
yeah. But
And
think
live
about
in
all the
Oh.
and live in the sewer.
think about all the clothes you have to go through, man. You have
That's
to buy
fine.
like a new outfit.
All the ladies will love it though.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's true.
big
It's only,
wear
it's
dong.
only like what 2-3 days a month. Like
Yeah, it's not
That's
bad.
true. It's not like it's every night, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be a vampire.
I'll
Vampires
coordinate
are
it with
cool.
my wife's time of the month, and we'll be
Oh.
down together.
What
Alright.
about wait, what's is it Super Troopers or Beer Fest when like he like wakes up, he's like, oh, not again, and like he like he
Beer
turned into a
Fest. I
werewolf
think it's Beer
overnight.
Fest.
Yeah. Like he like ate an animal. It's so good.
All right, and his last question: Fleas feast on werewolves. What are we feasting on, Sam?
Werewolf. What about a little bit of meow mix?
Yum.
I mean, yeah, doesn't sound appetizing. but
Little
I'll
dogs.
try it out. Oh,
Little
Dawn.
dogs.
we're like, you want to eat dogs? You're a dog lover, though.
I mean, I am, but if I'm a werewolf, I can't help it.
I mean, that's true. All right. I think he
A
was
lot of
looking for an
rabbits,
actual
like-
a lot of rabbits around here too.
Just like the movie,
All right.
Cool.
or just raw steaks. I don't know.
All right.
Next question is from Garen97. Thoughts on the movie Wolf Cop?
I mean, it's dumb fun. Like I didn't, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Wasn't really
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like,
same. I thought some stuff was pretty funny, and
yeah.
I think the You know what? I don't think that was a bad transformation because I think they showed a pretty gross penis transformation in that movie, like where it splits his wiener and it turns into it.
Oh shit, that's what I want to see. I've never seen it.
There's a couple sequels too, I think.
Yeah, I think it goes up to 4 or
There's-
something.
Is
if
there
saw
4? I
them.
thought there was just 2.
I saw a few on Tubi. So I'm not
Tubi.
sure. It could be whole other stuff.
I know of at least 2, but I don't know about after that.
And I haven't seen it in so long. I honestly don't remember, but it's been on my list for a while. I think they talked about it on the last drive-in like last season, so I put it on my list, but it's been too long. And the final question is also from Karen. Lycans versus werewolves. Which is stronger, better, cooler, and why? Lycans are those from the Underworld series movies.
Well, Lycans carry guns,
Mm,
so
Oh,
I'm doing Lycans.
same.
that's cheating.
Is it? You didn't
Not
care
my
when
fault.
Art the Clown shot that girl, Joe.
Tell him, Todd.
I mean, lichens are definitely cooler. I'd probably, if I had to choose between one or the other, I'd rather be a lichen than a werewolf.
Yeah, if you compare like a lichen versus the Wolfman from what the 40s, 30s, 40s, whatever,
Yeah.
lichens get kick his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think lichens are cooler too. So that's all the questions we got. Thank you everyone for asking. We can't do this segment without you. And now a word from our deadly sponsor.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Oh, what watched?
Yes. Do you guys
Well,
want to
we've
start
been
with The Rage? So The Rage, directed by Steven DeRock, who's the person we have an interview with at the end of the show. It's about a girl who visits her grandmother, and as she's going through the house, she notices some weird things, including finding like ID cards that belong to people who are missing. You might recognize one of those people in the ID cards and the missing posters. And basically, it's about how the grandmother deals with the girl as she tries to hide her deadly secret. So I just rewatched it again, and I'll say it again. We talked about it a few months ago when it was a spoiler-free review, but I really enjoyed this short. For a short film and for a first-time filmmaker, is super well shot. The score is really good. The acting's good. I mean, it's quick, it's a quick story, and he does talk about maybe doing a feature of it, which I would love to see, but I really enjoyed it. What do you guys think?
I really loved it too. I rewatched it before we did the interview with him, and I wish it was longer. Like I could totally see like in 2 years it becoming like a feature, and just knowing that it started from the short. It was really good. Like Steve said, the score is great. And Steven even talked about like some of the camera angles, and I was a big fan of those. I thought that I loved that the main character's name was Lori, a little hat tipped to Lori, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it was really good, and I'm just excited for everything that he's doing and that he's going to keep on doing.
And Laurie ends up in the closet in this one as well. So
Mhm.
another little homage. Oh yeah, I mean he pays like great homage to a lot of like classic horror movie. And for a 12-minute short, is that right about that? Somewhere
it's like
around there.
15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. For a short, he packs a lot into a
Yeah.
very small amount of time. I mean, for a first time like director short, I mean, it looks fucking great. Like it looks like really nice. Like the cinema, and he talks about like how important cinematography is in the interview, and I got to agree because like I mean like it looks great. The acting, the lead actress in this, like both actresses are great, but the old granny lady is just great.
Claire.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah,
She
I
looks
mean,
so sweet, but she's so sinister.
exactly. Yeah. No, it's just like a really like fun story, and like yeah, I mean, I was never bored. Like I was really excited to see what was coming next, and there's a couple like little twists and turns along the way, and yeah, I mean, I was highly impressed, and I'm excited to see what he does next. Like I really think he has a bright future for such a young. I mean, he's really young, right? Like
Yeah, he's like 21, I'd say.
Yeah,
20,
right.
21. Like he's super
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, young kid, and I mean, for this to be his debut, it's a great debut, and he's killing it at the festivals, winning a bunch of awards and stuff, which well deserved after watching it. So yeah, I can't wait to see what he does next.
And fun fact, we have a contest running right now. If you buy one of our merch, you just have to send us proof that you bought the merch, and I'm going to send a box of stuff, and in that box of stuff will be a poster of The Rage and a bunch of other stuff, but I will do a poster of this, so look out for that, and don't forget to enter the contest. We only have about 2 weeks left before I pull a winner for that.
Steve, I forgot to ask him, but is there a way to like watch it online? Can you like buy it anywhere, or is it just
so
For the screenings.
it's attached to the festivals that they appear at, so just follow him on the social media that he mentions in the interview, and you can watch usually like the screenings from those festivals.
Okay, yeah, I did see he mentioned there was gonna be like a digital one coming up, so
Right.
yeah, you can watch it that way. But yeah, I definitely recommend if you can give it a watch somewhere to check it out.
I know I mirror everything you guys said. I thought it looked great, like fantastic for like you guys already mentioned. I'm not going to say same things over and over again, but it looked great for first time director. Like you wouldn't guess it was.
Mm-mm.
Really, really awesome angles, edited extremely well. So yeah, I look forward to more from him.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks for allowing me to go, Joe. I apologize if I
and
overstepped.
Todd is like you know you made films and stuff like that. You know how tough it is to make like films, and
It's hard as fuck. And
it's impressive for a first film.
I do mine every now and then for like a hobby for something fun, but Steven looks like he can definitely take it to another level if he wants to. So stick with it. And all the other people out there too, like if you ever think about doing it, just do it. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Simple as that. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be fucking hard, but just do it and keep trying.
Anything in the works for you, Todd?
No, it's hard, man. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to get, especially when you get older and you got kids and stuff. It's hard to get people together. Plus, I always had the same problems that Steve has, is like finding people that are gonna take it seriously. Yeah.
How about writing wise? You got anything in the works for us?
Yeah, writing like an anthology, so I'm like 3 deep in it, and I got one more
Nice.
working on. So once that's done, I'll put it out.
Cool.
And speaking of Todd's books, one of the books will be also in that box. So,
Ooh, Killer Santa.
Killer Santa will be in
Soon
that
to be a
box.
trauma release. I'm just kidding.
That'd be awesome.
And also
That would be
worn
awesome.
Worn underwear from Todd will be in the box.
Worn,
Oh.
worn
For my
underwear
personal
that I left-
collection. So
that I left at Joe when he divorced me. I left it. Speaking of books, my first what read, sorry, and it's a movie we covered called Warm Bodies.
Oh.
And if you haven't seen the movie, it's the same exact plot where R is a zombie that kind of has some feelings still. He's walking around the airport. He has his zombie friends. He basically has his whole thought process still intact, but he's a zombie on the outside, right? So he can't really articulate what's happening. Meanwhile, they got Julie, who lives in like a walled off. In the book, it's a sport arena that they use as like a base. So she's there with her boyfriend Perry. They venture out, and long story short, R goes on a hunting spree and ends up killing her entire party, her boyfriend, and takes her hostage because he sees her and it starts awakening things in him. Book's awesome. Like, I really liked the movie. I gave it a 4-star rating last time we watched it, and I thought the book was a 5-star out of 5 on Letterboxd. Not Letterboxd, sorry, on Goodreads. And it goes way more in depth with R, like what he's going through, and then it also goes a lot into Perry, her boyfriend, played by Dave Franco. What happens with that is he kills Perry, but then Perry sticks with him the entire book, not just while he's eating his brains. Like, pretty much Perry doesn't want to go to the other side. He kind of, not haunts R is the wrong word, but he kind of like pops into his mind every now and then, telling him like, hey, this is how it is. This is how my life was, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a lot better than the movie, even though I like the movie a lot. So if you're looking for a nice romantic zombie book, then Warm Bodies is out there. And there's a 2 and 3 that I got to read now. So I'm excited for that.
Sammy?
Oh.
Are you going to talk about the one that we watched?
Hold up.
Yeah,
Hold
I
up.
figured.
I got to call someone out.
Uh-oh.
Steve,
Oh.
did Joe not say he'd be done with that book off season in June?
in June, yeah, I thought for sure that's what you were gonna review and be like, fucking reading it.
I've read it like 7 books ago now.
Oh shit. Todd, next week.
Okay, it was your idea.
Next week, we'll do off season.
All right.
That's a promise. That's a guarantee.
That's a Joe
is
guarantee.
it?
It's a Joe guarantee right there.
Is it?
All right, Sam. Why don't you talk about the movie we watched?
Why don't you? Okay, ready?
Yes.
Alrighty. So Joe and I watched a movie called False Positive. It's a 2021 release. If anyone knows who Alana Glazer is, she was one of the stars and creators of Broad City, which is one of my favorite shows in the world. So this is what it says. As if getting pregnant weren't complicated enough, Lucy sets out to uncover the unsettling truth about her fertility doctor. So I don't know if I mentioned it's on Hulu. And if you're going to watch this, trigger warning, because there is like some fucked up images. But I enjoyed it. You can step in anytime you want, Joe.
Sure. So this is actually an A24 movie.
Thank you.
For people. And stars also the fertility doctor is played by Mr. Handsome himself, Pierce Bronson, which was a nice little thing to see. I had not seen him in anything in a while. But yeah, I mean, like overall, I enjoyed it. I would say it's probably one of the weaker A24 movies I've seen. It just like, I don't know, like, you know, the movie like is trying to convey a message. By the end, obviously, but like the whole way, I was like, where is this like going? It's like it's basically like an updated version of Rosemary's Baby in a lot of way, like without the cult stuff. But yeah, there's definitely some fucked up imagery. I wouldn't really call it a horror movie though, per se. Like I would consider it more of like a thriller, with some horror elements in it. You know, they go hand in hand, but like I would, you know, there's not like a lot of like scary or like horror moments per se, but there's definitely some horrific imagery in this. But yeah, I mean, not a bad movie. I ended up I gave it 3 out of 5 over on Letterboxd. So I mean, I'd give it a soft recommend for sure. I think a lot of people would enjoy this, and Pierce Bronson's great in it, and it like moves along, like I guess maybe like more of a slower burn, but like it moves along. Like I was never bored.
All right, my first one this week is a 2020 film that I watched over on the Canadian equivalent of HBO Max called Crave, and that's The Witches, which is a remake of a 1990s movie of the same name, which coincidentally is actually the first sort of horror movie I ever saw in theaters when I was a kid. So I have fond memories of that. So in this one, it's a boy. His parents are killed in a car accident, so he goes to live with his grandmother, played by Octavia Spencer, and they start being kind of hunted by witches. So she decides to go to some fancy hotel where she knows somebody to kind of get away with the boy. And there happened to be a witches convention at the same hotel, the main witch being played by Anne Hathaway. And the boy meets this other kid there, and then finds like a mouse, and the witches turn the kids into mice, and this whole adventure ensues. It's based off a Roald Dahl book, and it's very similar to the 1990s film, just updated and stuff. I did not love this movie. I thought the CGI was absolute garbage. The makeup was also really bad. Like it was very obvious that they were wearing bald caps. Like too obvious, you know. It's the kind of thing that when I used to watch the TV show Face Off, they'd like talk about it, like, oh, you could totally see the seams of the bald cap and it takes away the illusion. Felt the same way with that. I did like the way the mice looked, so that part of the CGI was good. I love Octavia Spencer. I think she's great. She's very cool in this, but I didn't like the witches. You know, I thought they all kind of overacted and they just looked bad. Like they're all like super CGI. They have these crazy arm things that they do, and their mouths are like super huge. It just really didn't work for me. I mean, it's an okay watch. I was entertained, but it's not something I would ever watch again. So that's The Witches.
But did you cry on it?
For what?
Steve, when he talks about who's gonna take care of him when he gets older, and the grandma's like, I'll take care of you, and he's like, who's gonna take care of me when you die?
No, I mean,
Sam cried.
Oh yeah,
sure.
no. My wife probably cried.
It's
but...
a sweet movie, but I will agree with you on the balding caps and like the weird arm thing and their feet rolling up and stuff, and the Cheshire smiles.
Right. Yeah. And Angelica Houston's witch looks so good in the 90s. Like, how is it that 30 years later they fucking just butcher it so bad?
Well,
you know?
yeah, it's the CGI for you.
Yeah. Terrible.
Steve, did you get a chance to watch Dollman yet?
No, because I wanted to talk about it while you were on, but I didn't know you were going to be on this week, so I figured I'll watch it a week that you're on.
All right, I'll save it then.
But it's definitely on my list.
Cool. All right. Well, I've been watching a ton of Italian films lately, and this one's called The Crimes of the Black Cat from 1972. And I really like this director's name, so I'll say it. Sergio Pastore. I don't know. It sounds cool. But this one's basically fucking weird. There's this blind gentleman that's trying to solve a murder, and a bunch of people in the modeling agency are getting killed off. So typical Italian stuff, lots of nudity, lots of sex, a lot of cheating, lots of bright red blood. There's a shower kill too that is like so good. Like close-ups of cut breasts and cut stomachs and with the razor knife and all that stuff. It's really cool. Every Italian film has like centers around a police investigation, which this one has really good investigative scenes in it. And the killer, I wanted to say it was obvious, but then at the same time it wasn't. Like I was like, oh, it can't be that guy because they're kind of projecting him to be the killer, and then he was a killer, so it's kind of strange. But then there's also a black cat that they kill on screen, but I don't think it's a real cat, so don't be afraid, animal lovers. But yeah, The Crimes of Black Cat, super rare to find. There's a released by Cauldron Films, a Blu-ray that is now out of print. But for the collectors out there, I guess worth it. So Crimes of the Black Cat.
I got nothing else this week.
I got one more. So it's a movie that Joe talked about last week, and it piqued my interest. And it's from 2021 over on Shudder, and it's called Caveat. So in this one, a guy is sent to a house to essentially babysit a woman who's got issues, and he has to be there for like five days approximately, and it's on an island, like all on its own, and he's brought there by boat and stuff. But what he isn't told is that he has to be chained up, and the chains only go so far in the house. Like he can go into certain rooms, but he can't leave the house, and he can't go into the girls' room specifically. He can only get to the door. And for some reason, he still does it. I don't know why. It's $200 a day. I guess he really needed the money. And then it's like the experiences that he goes through in the house. Like Joe, I don't want to say too much because I think it's one of those movies that finding out some of the stuff that happens is one of the best parts of this movie. I will say that there are some great scenes in it. There's a scene in particular inside of a wall where it's a whole sequence, and I enjoyed every minute of that. Like I was on the edge of my seat for a good 10 solid minutes because it was so good what was going on. I'm not going to spoil what it was, but for that 10 minutes alone, it's on my top 10 list. Like that's how good that part of the movie was. There's some great acting. There's this really cool bunny that you see in the poster that is really creepy. My downside to the thing though is that they set up a lot of things that have no payoff, or there are things that happen in the movie that are never explained. So that was kind of a bummer. And I'm actually going to text Joe later because I want to know if maybe I just missed it or a couple of things. But overall, I would say check it out. It's on Shudder. It's a decent film, and right now is sitting at like number 6 of the year. It's a really good film. It's a solid film, and I would highly recommend it.
I want to mention a purchase I made by Charles Band. It's called Confessions of a Puppet Master, his autobiography, which is coming out, I think, in a couple months. So I bought that, and then he sent me a $60 gift card for his website. So I'm like, awesome.
Cool.
So I got 5 movies plus a book.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
And that will also be in the giveaway. So be sure you guys buy our merch. No.
Can I watch them first?
JK.
Trivia?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Okay. The points are as follows. Steve commanding first place with 66 points. Myself followed right behind him, 65. Joe, 63. Sam, 41. This is game number 26. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
All right. So shout out to Horror Squad member Kayla for sending me some trivia because you know that your ghoul needed it. And so I'm sure Steve, Todd, and Joe appreciate you sending this my way so I don't have to ramble and procrastinate. All righty. In Paranormal Activity, who sets up the camera to record strange
Katie?
events at night?
Micah.
That point goes to Joe.
Joe, damn it.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of the two. But
The ghost.
I'm on board with the Paranormal Activity movies, by the way. Just to let people know.
Yeah. Very cool.
I just bought the Blu-ray of like the 6 of them together. So
Oh,
I'm gonna have to do that.
I still have yet to see the Ghost Dimension, which was like their last one.
Same.
I like that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
We should
Honestly,
watch it, Joe.
it got not too bad at near the end there. Like they changed it up a little bit, and I liked it.
Alrighty.
You're up, buddy.
Me? All right. Well, Kayla also sent me some questions. I also got some questions from a couple other people too. So maybe I'll jump around here.
Oh, well, just rub it in my face.
All right. So, what year does the first Purge movie take place?
2007.
What year?
Yes. Like
2008.
what year is it set in? Not like what year it came out.
Yeah.
2008.
Okay.
2015.
Okay, you are all wrong. I'll give you one more guess.
Closest.
Are we even like close?
Sort
Don't
of.
answer that.
Sort of.
It's in the 2000s. I will say that.
All right.
From 2000 to
2005.
2003.
2020. I'm just gonna
Oh,
go higher.
You were close, Todd.
I'll take the point. Whoever's closest.
The correct answer was in the future of 2022, which is next year.
Oh,
So
really?
Oh, wow.
actually
That's
comes
so
true or not.
strange. Wow.
One we can hope.
All right, Todd.
Just kidding.
You wanna go?
Before people get mad that I'm reporting murder on Discord, I'm just a joke. All right, Kayla sent me 3. So Sam, you ain't special tonight, girl. Thank you, Kayla. All right. In the Lodge, what is the name of Grace's dog?
Grady.
That is
Oh,
correct.
no.
Joe with the 2 pointers.
Yeah.
All right. I got questions from all sorts of people, but my first one will be
Damn,
from
everyone's bragging on.
my first ones will also be from Kayla. What actor, who she dubbed her unofficial godson, convinced Jamie Lee Curtis to reprise her role in Halloween 2018?
Ooh,
What?
interesting.
Does Jamie Lee Curtis convince this person?
No, an
No,
actor.
it's the opposite.
Yeah, an actor convinced
God,
her that she considers her godson.
Yeah.
Her. Okay.
Josh Hartnett.
No.
Macaulay Culkin.
No, that's a real son. Never mind. It's an
God.
actor, huh?
I'm trying to think of a hint. I can't even.
Elijah
think.
Wood.
No, you guys are in the right age range, but
The 90s heart.
I know who it is, but I don't know who it is.
I feel like we talked about this too.
yeah, probably.
So
Yeah, we
what?
probably-
What male? Well, what actor convinced?
Devin
her?
Sawa.
No. You guys give up?
Seth Green.
I haven't guessed yet.
I'm getting closer. I can feel it.
Joe's just waiting for everyone to like eliminate
You're in the range. You just
the range.
he was a child actor. He was he was around that like 40 years old now.
Corey Feldman.
Ryan Philippi.
Wrong. All in the same.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
You guys give up?
Yeah.
No, let me guess.
Hint, give us a hint.
I'm trying. I don't know what to say. That's
Give us his first name.
no, that'd be way too easy.
You cheater.
Okay, fine.
Give us like one of his lesser known movies, if you can.
Christ. He's in so much. He's like one of those actors that's in a lot of movies.
Actors. Younger guy, 40 years old now.
He was in a disaster movie once.
Ben Affleck.
He's a disaster.
Disaster movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
You guys give up?
Yeah.
All right. It's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ah,
God.
that's interesting. Wow.
Did they ever have a movie together?
I
Who?
don't think so.
Jamie Lee
Jake
Curtis.
Gyllenhaal, yeah.
Not to my.
I'm wondering how they would.
Oh.
What's their
Hollywood-
relationship like?
Hollywood.
Hollywood bullshit.
The Gyllenhaals know everyone.
But if anyone wants to watch a really good Jake Gyllenhaal movie that is sort of horror, Nightcrawler, fantastic movie.
Donnie
It's creepy in
Darko.
that.
Hmm.
Bill Paxton.
Donnie
rest in
Darko
peace.
too.
All right, Sam.
Alrighty.
Okay, as long as Steve doesn't get a point.
Okay. I'll try my best. How many evil... Why can't I pronounce this word when I read it?
Is it pronounced dead? Evil Dead?
Oh, it's such an easy word, and I feel so stupid and embarrassed.
Spell it.
The little gremlin guys.
Mogwai?
Mogwais?
Mogwais. Thank you. Is that how it's pronounced? I feel like
Mogwai, yeah.
we say
Mogwai.
it different. Okay. How many evil Mogwais does Gizmo spawn in Gremlins?
Ooh.
40.
Is it closest type of deal?
Yeah, I'll do closest. You can go over or under, just closest.
I'll say 30.
See, I don't. Does it
Mogwai.
count? I think just the original. I think that she's looking for like just the original ones, and then not the ones that like multiply after. So I'm going to say. I think there were
Can you
like,
clarify that, Sam?
I think there were like 5 of them.
She's smiling.
Joe got it right.
Ignite.
Woo,
Wow. See, I'm going back to finding my own trivia questions because I want to ask the questions that you guys won't get.
Well, it's clear that Kayla has a favorite member.
Obviously.
All right, Joe.
All righty. Well, since Kayla's really helped me out tonight, I'll read all of hers off. Okay, so adjusted for inflation, what horror film is the 9th highest grossing movie of all
Ninth?
time?
Of
It
all
chapter 1.
time.
Of all time.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, adjusted for inflation?
You're a guess, Steve.
He did.
Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Adjusted for inflation. Fuck. Frankenstein.
Incorrect.
Can I guess again? Or-
Yes. I'll give you all one more guess.
Let's go Dracula.
Okay.
What do you mean adjusted for inflation? To make it look like that it did good, but it really
So-
didn't?
Yes.
No, like inflation
Oh.
would be like in today's market, basically. So
Oh,
just
I see what you're saying.
I-
Okay.
I'll take one more
Jaws.
guess. One more guess after.
what horror film is the 9th highest grossing movie? Not just horror movie. 9th highest grossing movie. of
Oh,
all
I thought you said
time.
horror movie.
No.
Oh, I thought you did say horror movie.
Well,
Well, it's a horror. Yeah,
film,
it's
but it's 9th of all time.
It's not Jaws.
9th out of period all time.
Yes.
Out of all
I think we
movies.
know.
Mhm.
I want one more guess once Todd gets guessed.
I want
Okay.
one more guess.
Sam,
after
Sam
Steve.
guessed Jaws already, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's no.
No.
Psycho.
Incorrect.
That was going to be my guess. Highest.
I figured Jaws,
Jaws was a good one
guess.
because that's the beginning of the
That's a-
blockbuster.
Yeah.
Let's go Exorcist.
That's what I was gonna guess.
The X's is correct.
Oh.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Steve.
All right,
Okay. Tagline from Kayla.
Great.
All right.
Everybody has a secret.
That's it.
That's it.
The Sixth Sense.
Okay. Sixth Sense is on the board.
Stir of Echoes.
Good guess, but no. No to Steve too.
Everybody has a seat.
Everybody. Everybody.
I
Oh.
could see Sam. I could see you
Everybody.
typing.
I'm not. No, I was actually looking at the Rage
What-
from Steven DeRock's movie because I think it said every family has a secret.
What if Siri's like, did you say everybody has a Shut up,
I'm
Siri.
not a cheater.
Everybody.
I don't mind being in last.
I have a second guess.
Second
if
place.
One
All right,
second
we'll do a round of 2
Okay,
guesses.
everybody has a secret.
Everybody. 2 words. Not everybody.
Oh.
House of a Thousand Corpse.
Corpses? No.
The
All
others.
right, next.
Everybody has a secret. I don't know. There's some
Is
sort of
this our
zombie.
second
movie.
round?
This is our second round, yes.
This is.
Everybody has a secret.
Warm bodies.
Secret Bodies.
Jennifer's Body.
The correct answer
shoulder.
is The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh.
Yeah. Makes
Good one,
sense.
man. Scary.
That's
Shout
a
out
good
to
one.
my
That's great.
boy,
Great
film.
Bill
Yeah,
Hirsch.
Good movie.
Hey, you gotta watch that one I told you about, the Beverly Left Lynn for your boy Emil.
They need to put it on a service.
You bought Greasy Strangler blind, man.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to buy that one too. All right, so the next one's still from Kayla. It's the tagline as well.
Oh God.
Never lose sight of survival.
The Purge. The Purge 2,
Wrong turn.
3, 4.
Taglines are the worst.
Yeah.
They're really
They're
tough.
so hard.
That's
Well, they're
why
just
they're
so
my
hard.
favorite.
It's like, yeah. Can we
Never
get it?
lose sight of
Can we get a?
survival.
Can we get like a decade?
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's a play on the words.
Okay. Can you repeat
Never,
it then?
yeah.
Yeah, never lose sight of survival.
Oh, okay. The Eye.
No, it's a good guess though.
The Eye
Has
is a
Todd
good
guessed
movie,
yet?
by the way. The original.
I haven't guessed my second one, but you can go.
Oh, second. Okay. Can you say it again, Steve?
Never
second
lose
one?
sight of survival.
Shudder.
So you want one last guess before I close it up?
Never lose sight
Of
of
survival.
survival.
The Beyond.
Oh, the hills have eyes.
That's a good guess, but no.
That's a good guess.
The answer was Bird Box.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That makes
gosh! Remember
sense.
all the rage about that movie?
Yeah.
It's huge.
It was.
I didn't love it.
It was all right.
It was all right.
It was
yeah.
okay. Yeah, it was okay, but it's not something I'd ever revisit. I don't think.
Right.
I think we might have covered that, Todd. I can't remember.
Sounds like we probably did.
Yeah.
All right, last round.
All right.
All right.
What is the name of the evil organization in the horror franchise Hostel?
Elite Hunting.
All
Elite-
right. What, Joe?
Oh,
Am I
yeah,
wrong?
that's right. No, he's right.
Yeah.
What were
So-
you gonna say though?
Elite Hunting Company.
Is it a copy? He's a copycatter.
It's Elite Hunting Club, but I'm gonna give it to Todd.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Samantha.
Close enough.
Little dog tattoo.
Close enough. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's yours. Never
My
mind.
turn?
Yep.
All right, last one. Continue on with the Exorcist theme here from the last one.
Okay.
The original shooting schedule for The Exorcist was 85 days, but filming in America lasted how long?
120.
I'll give you guys closest.
76.
Okay.
Let's go 130.
All right. Well, Steve's closest.
Fucking
Dang,
Steve.
Steve.
It was
Steve's always the
actually
Cheater.
closest.
it was actually 224 days.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Paid off,
insane.
though.
It did.
Yeah.
That's insane, though. Yeah, that's like almost a
that's
year.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Todd.
All right, Kayla, closing it out. In the House of Wax remake, what are the six friends driving to? What kind of event are they going to?
Festival. Concert.
Uh,
I
okay.
can't tell you. I can't remember. Snoop Dogg concert.
Yeah, we got Snoop on the board, which is incorrect.
I mean, I was just gonna say. All right,
I was gonna
well,
say
it's not-
clubbing. Like,
Wait, the remake, right?
Yeah.
EDM festival.
EDM, clubbing, Snoop Dogg. Anyone else want to go? Everyone's really wrong. It's gotta
Halloween
be
party.
specific, though. No.
Okay. It's been so long.
Woodstock.
Woodstock. No. It has been a long time. I really want to watch that again.
It's a great
We should do
movie.
we should do a double feature of the House of Wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vincent Price, right?
Mhm.
Any second guess, Sergio?
Nah.
A football game.
Oh, yeah.
all
Oh,
right.
I didn't remember that at all. All right. So last one, still from Kayla, and I'll get everyone else's questions they sent me next time. So it's another tagline. What happened over the next 28 days has never been explained.
Ooh.
28
Thi-
days later.
This one sounds really familiar.
No, that's a good guess, but no.
Fine.
This one sounds really familiar.
20 days, never.
The Conjuring.
No,
Amityville Horror.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew
Yes.
it was a ghost.
I was gonna
movie,
say
for sure.
Insidious. Good job, Todd.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was when Joe said the contrary, I wanted to say, "Ooh, that's so close." In a way, in a way.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I got a bonus because I got.
I thought you were gonna say I got a boner.
No. I got a bonus because
That's
like
a
the
given.
one of the last questions. Oh, them talking about like a concert. Us talking about concert gave me some inspiration for this one. So
All right.
in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, what concert are they heading?
Led Zeppelin.
Incorrect.
Grateful Dead.
Incorrect.
I got another one if Sam can't get it. I figured it out. I fucked up. Sam, just put Blink-182 out there so we can move on.
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
Right.
Is it Leonard Skinner?
It is Leonard Skinner.
Ah.
Well, tied you up, Steve.
Damn it. Fucking bonus. No more bonus questions.
All right. Thank God for Joe's bonus. Tied at first place, 68 apiece. Joe, 66. Sam, 41.
Will.
Cool. Thank you for your questions, people. Sam, did you listen to any of the Backyard podcasts yet?
No, not yet. Is it good?
I know. I
It
gotta
is.
listen to it.
I don't want it
Fucking
to
good.
be over with yet. Give me a little something.
Little something.
Yeah, I saw like on one of the comments that Paul
Little bitch.
Flores was taking down the missing signs or something like that.
Yes, he was. Oh my God. The cops, Crime Stoppers, whatever, put, hey, if you know anything, call us. That motherfucker went around and tore hundreds of signs down.
Wow.
And when the attorney, or maybe it's a police officer, I don't remember which one, asked him, like, okay, so you took down signs of your son? No. Well, what did it say? Just tip hotline. So why'd you take it off? I don't know. I just fucking, that family is just fucked.
Yeah.
That family is fucked.
Them.
And apparently he was, they don't know if this is true or not, but he's bragging to one of his friends that, like, the cops are so bad at their job, they're literally standing over her body.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
oh, there's a lot of fuck ups from law enforcement with this one.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul and his dad and his mom, they're like scum of the earth, man. Straight up. So in your it's called Your Backyard Podcast. So check that out, about a true crime.
About Kristen Smart.
Yep. Hopefully they have some closure soon.
I hope so. I can't wait to listen to the newest episode.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to step off since you guys watched the movie and I was supposed to be in Atlanta and they got canceled, so I didn't get to watch it. So
we'll miss you, Todd.
Have a good time, everybody. Be nice.
Love you, Todd.
Okay, bye.
See you next week.
Okay, see ya.
Todd was a little too happy about leaving us.
Sam, since you picked the movie, do you want to like synopsize it or?
I guess. Alrighty, so Werewolves Within. This is a 2021 release. After a proposed pipeline creates divisions within the small town of Beaverfield and a snowstorm traps its residents together inside the local inn, newly arrived forest ranger Finn and postal worker Cecily must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has begun terrorizing the community. So this is based off of a video game where werewolves attack a small town, and I was excited for this just because I saw the poster alone and just how it looked. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks really good. Like the artwork looks so cool. And so I asked you guys if we could do it, and then later learned that it was based off of the video game, and I know that Steve's into gaming and all of that stuff, so I thought it would be a good one. Does anyone want to do their review first?
Yeah, actually, well, me and Steve offline was just talking about like what video game it was based off. So I think that's like a good way to start. Yeah.
Yeah. So Werewolves Within is a VR video game where 8 players, I think it's 5 to 8 players, gather around a campfire in VR. And essentially one person is told that they're the werewolf and the other people have to guess who is the werewolf. So it's like a murder mystery night where you're given clues and you're given questions to ask, and you have to kind of role play different characters from this town until you find, until you, like Clue, I guess, until you try to guess who was the werewolf that was killing people. And it's an interesting game. It's nothing that I particularly like because I don't like playing with randoms. If I had 8 friends to play with, I would, but I don't. I don't know that many people have VR setups. But it's a cool concept, if you ever had a murder mystery night with some friends. But video game wise, I mean, it's okay. I was actually bummed out. So I thought this was Wolf Among Us, not Werewolves Within. It's just I got confused, I guess. So when I started watching the movie, I was going in expecting a Wolf Among Us. A Wolf Among Us is about a wolf cop kind of character who lives in a town full of fairy tale characters, but like more like darker versions of them, like Humpty Dumpty and the Big Bad Wolf and all that kind of stuff. And it's a super cool video game, very interesting, very fun to play, and it would have been an amazing adaptation. So now I was immediately disappointed, but yeah. So I guess I might as well start with what I thought of the film, spoiler free. I thought it was a decent film. It's got some good characters. I like how they kind of immediately give every person a role in the town and their own personality. And I particularly like the main stars, the main cop or forest ranger that comes into play at the beginning of the movie, and then the girl who's like a post office worker, and the guy who plays Guillermo from oh my god.
What We Do in the
Shadows. Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows. I thought they were really fun. I got a few laughs. Like some of the jokes really hit with me, and the horror part of it, I guess the wolf part of it was a little weak. And I thought that the setup were a little obvious. Like, it was obvious to me who the werewolf was, because the whole, like the game, you're trying to figure out throughout the movie who the werewolf is. And I kind of guessed it right away. In fact, my buddy Mondo from the Let's XP Geek and Gaming podcast, he's like, right away, he's like, is this the killer? I'm like, yeah. It's so obvious. But yeah, it's still decent film, decent kills, and I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah, I predicted it. Like like Sam at one point was like, who do you think the killer is? And I was like, oh, it's this one. I was like, because it's always the one you least expect. And I was right. But yeah, so I had no idea like anything about this movie whatsoever. Then I heard it was based on a video game, which, I mean, based on how you described the video game, it's pretty much sounds like almost exactly how they decided to frame this movie. It's like kind of like Knives Out. Like, if you watch Knives Out last year, it's like a very similar concept. And like all the characters are like really good. Like, it's like a really small town. So there's like eight or 10 characters total in this like really tiny small town where they're trying to build like this pipeline through. So you got like the really like the guy who's like trying to build the pipeline, and you got like this gay couple, and you got that doesn't want to sell, and then and so on and so forth. But all the characters together are just great. It's like a great ensemble cast. I liked like all of them. There wasn't like any character that I found like disinteresting. Like, I thought all of them like did their thing and it was good. Overall, like I liked it. Like, there's just like something there that I feel like was missing, and I really can't put like my complete finger on what it was. Like, it's funny, but like there wasn't any like laugh out loud moments for me personally. Like, maybe like it could have been funnier. But it's like still a good movie. It's solid. I had a fun time with it, and overall I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I felt like it rolled very like smoothly, and it was kind of like a back and forth with all of the characters. I didn't laugh out loud, but I chuckled out loud to myself. Like, there were a lot of moments like that just because the jokes did hit well, I thought. But I really enjoyed Sam Richardson, who played the character of Finn. I thought he did so great in it. Like, he was my favorite out of the whole movie. And then with Cecily, I don't know if you guys recognize her, but she's in the Sprint commercials. So when I saw her in this movie, I'm like, okay, girl, get your little movie acting on. But I felt normally I can spot out like what's going on, but I thought it was the older white guy who wanted to build the pipeline. I thought it was him at first. So I kind of fell for the little trick and stuff, but I thought it was good. And with Joe saying something was missing, but we just can't put our finger on it, I kind of feel like that too. I don't know if maybe it was the wolf part, like the transitioning, if maybe that was kind of a letdown, because the quality was really well. I was surprised. I didn't really know that it was going to look so nice and be so professional, if that makes sense. But maybe it's the wolf transformation that we weren't really digging.
Yeah, I think the problem with this movie is it has an identity crisis. It's not funny enough to be a comedy. It's not scary enough to be a horror. It's like, it's kind of hovering between a bunch of different genres and never really lands any of them. I think that was a problem. I thought people were getting picked off a little too randomly. Like, it was obvious who wasn't going to be the werewolf because they weren't given as much screen time as the others. And I feel that they were just kind of dying suddenly. Like, they're just kind of, okay, well, we're done with this character. Let's just kill that character off. Mm-hmm. And not till later in the film do we get a few like surprise kills, I guess we can say. And you're right, Sam, the transformation was a little goofy. I wrote that the makeup reminded me more of like the Thriller Werecat or Teen Wolf than a scary werewolf. And I thought that was kind of terrible, especially that you're kind of, bringing the whole film essentially to this climax. And the whole ending part felt a little rough. Like, it didn't, I don't know, it wasn't scary. It was just kind of weird. It just didn't really make sense to me. The whole last, I guess, 15 minutes of the movie, I thought were kind of rushed in a way and stuff like that. And the whole, so like I said, in the video game, it's you just sit around a circle around a campfire and try to figure things out. And they have a scene in the middle of the movie where this basically happens, but instead of a campfire, it's a fireplace, and then they're sitting in a circle and they start talking for like, it must have been 15, 20 minutes. And I thought that scene slowed the whole movie down. Like, I get that you want to reference the video game, but that was a little too literal, and I thought that part kind of started taking me out of the movie. It picks up a little bit later, but you know, they could have cut this movie down a little bit, I think, and cut a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah, the werewolf, like, it's not even like a transformation, really. Like, all of a sudden she just like starts, like, it's not like what makes a great werewolf movie is the transformation, and like they just don't really, and I'm sure it was like budgetary reasons or whatever. Like, is this really like, I mean, really, like, it's not really a horror movie, like you said. It's like so like I guess like they didn't really care so much about the transformation. They're like, that's a comedy, like we don't like really have to do like I know they're saying it's like a horror comedy, but I mean, I would call it a comedy slash horror more than horror, you know, horror comedy. So I just think they were just like, who cares about the werewolf transformation, like, well, you know. But like it just, I'm just glad actually that there was a werewolf, because for a while there I was thinking, oh, okay, the werewolves within are just like the people in the town, like they're all sort of like, you know, wolfy, like turning on each other and stuff like that. So I am kind of glad that we did actually get a werewolf, because for a while there I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be so disappointed. And actually Guillermo at one point makes the joke that like, you know, oh, if that's really the killer, like I'm gonna be so disappointed or whatever like that. It's like exactly what the audience was thinking. So I thought that was like, that was one of my like actual like almost laugh out loud moments in the whole movie, was that one line. But yeah, I mean, it was very weak, and I think that is definitely is what brings it down for me. It's just like such a lame werewolf, and just like it's not. At that point, the movie's almost over, so like you don't even get like a good fight with the werewolf. She just like dies so easily, and they don't even follow the rules of a werewolf. Like, I mean, unless there was a silver tip on that arrow that kills her. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen more with the werewolf stuff. I guess that's not really what they were going for in this movie. I think really the basis was like these characters and them kind of turning on each other, and they just kind of throw the werewolf part in at the end, which maybe that's what's kind of what like I'm not loving about this movie. But like, you know, maybe I'm being a little tough on it. It still is like an enjoyable movie. Like, you know, it's so yeah.
Anything else to add, Sam?
I don't know. I thought not too much to add, but I liked the axe place that they were at. And I was hoping
It was
that
a cool bar, yeah.
it was a cool bar. And I loved that they were playing like the 90s music and Ace of Base and stuff. And that they did like they circled back to it. But I was hoping he would kill her with an actual axe, since she told, well, if I say she, is that spoiling it? Since like at the beginning of the movie, she's showing him how to throw the axe, and she's like, act like you flip it once and then you kill it on the second flip. So I was like, oh, that's how he's gonna kill the wolf. Like that'd be so cool.
That would have been cool, yeah.
That wasn't even what happened.
No. Or he went on and on about snowshoeing. So you knew that was going to come back at some point too.
Yeah.
The one character disappointment I had was, I think it was Marcus. It's the big guy who had like the bear.
Oh yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
He was cool, but I feel this character didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Like I thought he'd be like the big hunter that would figure it all out, or would have a massive fight with the werewolf, but no, he was just kind of there. And
yeah.
Oh, I loved the intro to this movie too, where it has like the quote and like it like plays this like really creepy music, and then it just says Mr. Right. It's a Mr. Rogers quote.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
They do it like this like really dramatic like right. That was pretty damn funny. So like, have you guys seen this director's other movie called Scare Me that came out last year? 2000.
Yeah, that's the one where they tell each other stories that they reenact in a cabin, right?
Yeah, I had never seen it, but.
Is it a horror movie, or is it kind of a comedy as well?
It's a comedy horror as well.
Yeah, I didn't like it personally. I thought it was very long. Like it just dragged on. You guys said you didn't watch it?
No.
So yeah,
it's got Chris Redd in it, and I know Sam's a big fan of Chris Redd.
Yeah, it's basically
Chris Redd.
Yeah.
Why don't I know that name? Chris Redd.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's a newer cast member.
Okay,
Let's not
sorry.
get crazy.
Yeah, it's just basically a story of two people who are in a cabin. They're two authors, and they tell each other like horror story ideas that they have, and they reenact it, and then
Oh,
things kind of
fun.
happen. It's
Oh.
fun for a while, but it overstays its welcome. And by the end of it, I was just like, okay, this movie is like really long.
Yeah,
I don't remember
you're
how
over
long it
it.
actually was, but it felt long, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I maybe at one time watch. It's on Shudder if anyone wants to check it out. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about this movie. You know, it's one of those. It's fun. I'm happy I watched it. I liked it. You know, I enjoyed watching it. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but it was a fun movie.
Yeah, I'm like the same way. Same. Like it's not gonna make my top 10. I'm not expecting it to make my top 10, but it's like it's a good like one-time watch. It has some fun moments for sure. And I think, if you're in the mood for like a light-hearted movie, this is definitely a good one. And you could do a hell of a lot worse. We personally we got a screener for this, but it is available VOD for rental right now. I'm sure at some point it might get on free streaming, but right now it's like a $3 or $4 rental if you want to check it out.
I don't know. I don't know if this will be in my top 10 or not. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say yes or no. But I would actually rewatch this one like come winter. Like I would I might add it to like a winter rotation,
No, yeah, I do enjoy the winter setting in this. Like, although I did notice the CGI snow, I thought it was pretty
Come on,
obvious.
Joe.
I was like, oh man, it did. There were times it looked really bad. Like where like you could totally tell it was digitally inserted, and then other times you couldn't. But it
fake
took me
snow in movies, period, bothers me to no end. It is so when you live in snow, and we all know this because I mean, you guys get a lot of snow too.
Yeah.
Snow is a certain way, and movies rarely get it right unless it's real snow. So yeah, that was a bummer. What do you guys rate this one?
So me, I'm gonna say first of all, I would like wait on like renting. Like I would wait until maybe you get like a free stream on this or something like that. I wouldn't personally pay like the $7 rental for this one. But an enjoyable watch. I'm kind of torn on this one, but I'm gonna give it a 7. Like I think it's decent enough. The ensemble cast was really good in it. And yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I agree. The cast, I feel like you'll recognize a lot of the people in it from other things, but I'm gonna give it a 7.3.
And I'm just above that at a 7.5. I liked it. I'm happy I watched it. It's not going to make it is on my top 10 now. It's number 9, but I mean, it's going to go down pretty quick with the movies coming out.
You hope.
But, I fucking hope, yeah. I mean, even Caveat, I put higher than this, so.
Yeah, I would too, yeah.
But still, it's a decent film. I think it's a good one-time watch. I agree. I'd wait for, Shudder or whatever releases this film. But once it does show up, I do recommend watching it once. It's fun. Like, it's a fun movie. Just nothing I'd watch again. All right, so approved. And next week I'm very excited because this has become an annual tradition, and we are doing Shark Week. It's Shark Week as of July 11th, I believe. So we actually put out votes over the weekend. We're going to review one serious shark movie and one not so serious shark movie, and you guys all voted, and there was a clear winner for the serious shark movie, which is Jaws.
Is it even a serious shark movie?
I mean, it's
sort of.
So sort of, right? Like compared to what we're picking in the in the ridiculous one. So Jaws 3D is going to be our serious shark movie, and Cruel Jaws won by a little bit. Won by like 3-4 votes. Is going to be our ridiculous shark movie. All
right, I'm excited.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, they're both my picks, so I got lucky. I didn't think Cruel Jaws would win. Like I
didn't either, honestly. Yeah, I'm surprised. I've never seen it, so I'm excited to check it out.
So I've already watched Cruel Jaws. I watched it the day that because it seemed to be leaning towards that way, so I'm like, I'll get it advanced, on the movie. And honestly, it's not bad.
Okay.
Like it's not Shark Exorcist, that's for fucking sure.
Oh god.
But I'm excited about talking about it. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Cool. It's interesting enough. It's not like terrible like the other ones.
I haven't seen Jaws 3D in a long time either, so I'm excited to revisit it.
Me too. I picked it because
that's the SeaWorld one, right?
Yeah, because I love theme park movies. So I just felt like watching that one. So
Mhm.
I was gonna watch it regardless. It was gonna be my what watch if it didn't win, but
Sam actually has it on Jaws 3D on vinyl. We found it at like
Oh,
a
really?
thrift store back
Mm.
in Kansas. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for voting, and we'll be reviewing those two films next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's
Stick
it.
around for the interview.
Yeah, stick around for the interview. Steven DeRock,
Yes.
director of The Rage. Actually, all three of us were on this interview, which is a rare treat that
Yeah.
we're three people on the interview. So that was fun. And yeah, so I look forward to talking to you guys during Shark Week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh.
That's not a Jaws.
Yeah.
I
That's close.
tried.
That was close.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Horror Squad podcast. Tonight, we have a very special guest. He is the writer, director of the multi-award winning short film, The Rage, Steven DeRock. How's it going, Steven?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. That makes me sound like I'm so famous here.
You are.
I mean, the success you have on this film is fantastic. I've been following along and seeing all the awards you're getting from all these festivals, which is awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what The Rage is about?
Yeah, I guess short way to sum it up. It's pretty much as the synopsis is online. We have also anyone out there, we do have an IMDb page. So if you happen to see the movie, feel free to rate it. But the film is practically about a young girl decides to make a family visit and discover something horrifying. That's like short but sweet, gives you a little bit of what to expect.
That's awesome. So the first thing I want to mention right off the bat is the story was conceived by Lynn Griffin, who horror fans would know. She played in Black Christmas and a bunch of other stuff. How did you come together with her and come up with the story for The Rage?
Well, I interviewed her obviously back a while ago on my channel. And I don't know, we just started talking, and originally she was supposed to be like the main part of the movie. I worked for like a few months talking back and forth with the union she's a part of. It's just a lot of headaches, and it wasn't really worth it as it was being my first film. Originally, it was like low budget. It was like a $1,500 film, which ended up being like over $6,000 film because we ended up raising like over $6,000 to make it. So that was awesome. But you know, I think I do want to make this short into a future. I think it'd be fun to put like a backstory and continue afterwards with the events that happened, how the short ended. But I would like to put her as a special role in the feature film if possible. But Lynn, when she watched the film, she was like she was blown away. Like she thought it was super professional and super well done, which meant a lot. And she's a super sweet lady. I mean, we also did a private signing with her when we were doing our campaign for our film. So I got to meet her when I was in Toronto, and I also went to go see the Black Christmas House afterwards. So it was a lot of fun. She's great, and I hopefully I get to work with her in person and get to direct her one day.
That's awesome. Speaking of funding the film and kind of everything in the pre-production, what was that like? I know you did a lot of crowdfunding, and what was the experience of crowdfunding and kind of having all those perks and dealing with people and all that stuff? So can you tell us about your experience?
Well, it's funny. It's like I was looking really forward to doing the Indiegogo route because I backed a lot of like film projects on that platform. But then once I started getting to like the statistics and how it works and behind it, they require like certain things in order for your campaign to get launched. So I wanted to do it, but it just seemed like a lot of work. That's why I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do through just Facebook and Instagram. I know a lot of people on there. They'll see these posts, and that way, I can get the funds directly, organize the orders, and just have everything aside. So I pretty much did pre-orders on everything. I think we did the campaign for like 3 months. And I ended up giving like certain podcasts like yourself, like discount codes. So people that listen to your show would come to like our page and maybe buy a perk and get a discount with their purchase. So kind of like just like that. One thing that really helped too was doing these raffles. I ended up raffling off a lot of cool, unique signatures, and doing that really helped us get a good bulk of funds to make the movie.
That's great. Yeah, I actually won one of those raffles. I got the Insidious poster, which was fucking
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So what was the casting process like? What was your experience working with the actresses in the film?
Oh, casting is probably my favorite part, but also probably one of the longest processes too. Our main girl that we used as Lori, she was like the second person, she was one of the first people to apply. And when I saw her audition, I was like, kind of like, well, it's like she's pretty good. Like I liked her right away. The tension, and it's funny. Maybe one day we'll release the the interview footage of not interview the audition footage, I should say. And her audition actually was a scene that got cut out from the movie. Like the lines weren't even in there anymore. So, but no, it was a really fun process to get everyone that was suited for the role. And our main character of Claire, the old lady. She was actually one of the I think she was one of the later character last people to get casted because I was having a hard time finding her. So I'm glad I found her. And you know what? That was her first movie main character role she's ever played. So I really hope she gets some exposure and people get to hire her on more other projects of theirs. I know I'm producing a other feature right now, and they ended up using her as an extra in their film. So word of mouth. But no, it was great. I mean, I love seeing and meeting people that were auditioning for the film. Was lots of fun. And I'm actually looking forward to doing that process again.
Awesome. So one thing that you and I have in common is we happen to live in the most stringent COVID restrictions probably in the world. And I know that you filmed this project under a lot of those COVID restrictions. What was your experience having to deal with all that on top of it being your first film and stuff like that?
All I can say, we got super lucky. We literally shot this in September of last year. And the day after we finished shooting, we went into lockdown. So I was kind of like, oh my God. I know technically film productions kept going on, even though the lockdown still continued, but the bigger productions have the teams there that test you every day or before you enter the set and, do all that stuff. So we didn't have that obviously because we're an indie short film production. But no, it was a beautiful, we lucked out on the weather too. The weather was so beautiful on the weekend that we were shooting. And yeah, we got really lucky because the lockdown literally happened the day after we finished. So that was a good relief.
Wow. It's magical timing.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So this being your first time directing, what would you say you learned the most, and what will you pull from it the next time you make your feature or your next short?
Great question. I learned the key thing of making a great film is you have to have a good professional experience cinematographer, DP. The guy we had was phenomenal. He's worked on a bunch of bigger productions for Netflix and home renovation shows, and he's worked on a ton. But he had the equipment, and he saw my vision, and he believed in the project, and he knew that he knew obviously this was a low budget film. He knew it wasn't gonna get paid much. And he says, it's fine. Just let me know what I can do and let me know what you can do for me type thing. So, he was great. And that's definitely one thing I learned about directing is first time is must have a good DP because they're the ones capturing your, doing all the camera work. I could have told them everything you see in the film, the tracking shots, the Dutch tilt shots, everything there were all my visions. I just told them what I wanted for each scene. But yeah, that's definitely one thing. And as far as other things too, I think making my first feature, which I hopefully will do soon, that's going to be a way different experience for me because that's totally something different for as far as directing. But I think what I've learned is that, you just kind of don't be afraid of just trying things on set that weren't originally in the script. Just kind of go with the flow. If it feels right, if it doesn't feel right, then change it. I'm not afraid to admit it. Things I've seen in, the film, my directorial debut of The Rage, there's things after I finished editing it with my editor of things I would have done differently. So I know next time if I want to make this into a feature film, here's what I would have done differently for next time. You kind of just have to do what feels right. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but directing actors is a great process too. It's a lot of fun. It's just, I've never done it before. So it's like your first time. It's like, it's a whole new world, but hopefully next time I'll have more wisdom and words to say about, directing a feature.
Since you mentioned that there were some things you would do differently, like what's one of the top 3 on your list that like irks your nerve?
Good question. Well, I'm trying to think of like, there's a lot of there's like little things, but the little things that probably the audience won't notice so much.
Mhm.
And that happens to a lot of films. You don't notice a lot of things unless you pinpoint something like errors or there's just little for example, the scene that we, people that are listening to this, I'll say spoilers, I don't mind. This film's been out for a few months now. But the best scene in my opinion was the closet scene, the whole build up from, the main jump scare of the film. If I could make this into a feature film, I would have like a dead body pop out of that closet before the other jump scare, like an unexpected. It would have been really cool to do that, but the location that we're shooting at, the closet was so small, so it was kind of hard to even pull that off properly. But as far as the other things, are just content. What's it? I can't say it. Continuity. Thank you. Continuity errors, just like little things like you might, for the example, there was one of the ending scenes, the drawer was pulled out when you don't see her pulling the drawer out, or the light in the bathroom was on when the girl went to the bathroom and it was off before when she was walking the hallway. Just little things like that. Even I don't want to point out everything.
I know. It's like
just little things that you watch, because I've seen it probably over 100 times from editing it. So like, oh my God, I would have done this so differently. Or even the same thing goes as for lines too. There's a little bit of dialogue that I probably would have rewrote differently, but that's okay because it's just a learning experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I knew this was gonna be for me.
Another standout to me with this film is the score. It's actually really like good atmosphere, and it really sets the tone for the movie. So how was that process, and how did that come about?
Josh Cook was her composer. He was brilliant. I was emailing back and forth with different composers because I was trying to kind of find the right style. I knew I love John Carpenter's like sound of work, but I knew that I didn't really want that specific, maybe some little elements, but not as much. But I knew I wanted a lot of strings and a lot of violin with the scoring. And it's funny, when we did the virtual premiere with the cast and crew, he was telling us how it happened. He literally, the composer, the main opening theme that you hear at the opening credits and near the end of the film for the ending credits, and kind of throughout the film, I should say too, like little same elements. He thought of that. He woke up one morning and thought of it and wrote it down. Like he started playing it and it just came to him. It was very simple, but it was so effective, the opening theme. And as far as, the atmosphere throughout the film and how it builds up with, it's a lot of distortion sounding keyboard as far as like, the main jump scares and the action scenes, a lot of that. And I was looking for that. I told him, don't be afraid to use the music as much as possible, because I think music is one of the most important things about film, especially horror films. That's what kind of scares you. So I'm like, try to make the scoring as unsettling, but also not too annoying, like for the audience to hear it. But I definitely wanted unsettling sound to the scoring, and I think it worked really well. He did an amazing job.
Yeah, I feel like the music is a character on its own. It's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
So the film has, like you said, has been out for a few months now, specifically at festivals. And like I said before, you've been cleaning house around North America.
Yeah.
How rewarding is that as being a first-time filmmaker that it's winning so many awards?
Honestly, unexpected. I didn't like,
Aww.
I was like, I was like, if I could like get like, at the beginning, because I've never submitted to, I haven't been involved with the festival circuit. So when I started submitting, I'm like, okay, let's try to submit to like maybe 20, 30 festivals, see what happens. If I get selected, that's awesome. And if I get award, that's just icing on the cake. And then once I started like getting all these awards and different things coming through, I'm like, okay, I guess people really like this. Because I think being the filmmaker of the movie, you're so shows a spectacle of yourself. You're not like you're not. I should say you're not confident in yourself. You're and then when people see your work, I guess you prove yourself wrong. And I know it's good. It's inspiring for me, especially too, because I know, hey, people actually like what I did this time around. Let's see what I can do next time and how I can improve my work. So no, it's been great being awarded, and I'm super excited. We have 4 screenings coming up this month, so I'm excited and curious to see how the audiences around the world are going to be reacting to it and liking it.
You said that you submitted it to 20 to 30 Film Fest?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like that is confidence. Like I would just do, let me submit it to this one.
It's very overwhelming. There's thousands of festivals to submit to. It's insane. By now I've probably submitted to close to 100 just because there's so many horror ones within North America, mainly US. There's some here in Canada. What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to submit to strictly just horror festivals, or if festivals have a horror genre category to submit to. Besides that, I didn't really want to submit to festivals that does have an open genre category, because it's going to be harder to win that time around, or get selected, I should say, not win. But no, yeah, by now, I have other announcements too that I'll be making, but it's just kind of waiting and seeing on upcoming festivals and where we get selected next. And I publish all that stuff online, but it's been cool. It's a great experience.
Have you attended any of the festivals and like?
No, I
okay.
want to so bad, but because like Steven would know, we're in Canada, so like we can't go past the border. I really wanted to go to the one in LA this month, because that was like a huge deal. We're one out of 6 selected to play at this LA festival. And there was like people from the industry are the judges. Like there's people from Universal, Sony, and like all these other corporations. I'm like, oh man, that would be great to like network with these people. So who knows, maybe fingers crossed, maybe I have like distributor or somebody reach out to me. And as the business is all about connection. So I don't know. We do have actually a Toronto one screening this September that hasn't been announced yet, but I'm hoping to get all the cast and crew reunited, because I would love to see it on the big screen. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see anything on a big screen right now
in
Ontario. So speaking of your career, which horror films and directors have been an influence for you?
Yeah, definitely John Carpenter. Halloween's like my favorite movie, and that was like the one of like probably the first like major R-rated movie I ever saw. John is great, but I remember Wes Craven, he was great too. I remember when he passed, Wes Craven, I was like, that was probably one of the deaths that hit me the hardest. I don't know, it was just, he seemed like he was such a gentle soul, and just so creative. And it was too bad, because I know that he sometimes did conventions, and I was always hoping to meet him one day. But no, I admire his work, and I love, it's funny you say that. I love when I'm writing, I like to listen to scores that either, John Carpenter did, or like other scores from like, films of Wes Craven, or, any great classics out there. But definitely Wes Craven and John are my 2 favorite like directors.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to stick with horror films as far as like filmmaking career? And if so, what subgenre of horror would you like to tackle next?
Good question. I think I'm not going to stick fully with horror, but I still want to do horror, because it's so fun to do. I have ideas rolling, but any people out there, unless you're a good, confident writer in yourself, writing's like one of the hardest part out of making a film, because without a script, you got pretty much nothing. So right now I've just been dotting a bunch of ideas because I have like a plot on what I want to do next as far as a feature horror film. I think would be something that really has been done before, which I'm excited for, but it's just putting everything together that makes it flow. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. As far as I want to try different things too. One of my favorite genres besides horror is upcoming of age films. I think those films are super important to view, especially when you're like around that age. John Hughes has made a big impact on me. I love his movies. He's done so many classics. I just think, telling stories around that period of time is so important because you're kind of figuring out what you want and who you are. And, from my life experiences too, I think I kind of want to mold that into a script. So I think that would be fun to do and, awarding. But as far as now, I'm producing a kind of a drama sci-fi feature, and also one that's kind of it's action based, and it doesn't really have any dialogue. So it's like it's a different kind of unique film. It's a fighting film, but it's a unique spin to it. But I'm just doing little things. I'm more so, I would like to get more directing gigs because obviously that's like what I would like to do. But step by step, I don't mind helping out in other productions as different positions. But no, as far as horror, I mean, I'm always gonna want to direct horror movies, no doubt about that. I mean, it's so fun to do. It's just finding the right story and the right script in order to do it.
Awesome. And going back to The Rage, where can people see The Rage, and where can people like follow you to get news about that movie and future projects that you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. So we are on Facebook and Instagram. Our username is @TheRageFilm. You guys can just look that up on Facebook and Instagram. I think if you just look up on Facebook The Rage, it should pop up as a movie page. And if you go on Instagram, just type in @TheRageFilm. And also, as far as me, you guys can follow me on Instagram, my personal account. That's Geek Out Cinema. But I will be posting updates. I always do. I probably make a post like once a week on our social media pages for The Rage, just about news and updates and what's going on, where it's screening next, or different nominations or awards. So I post all that stuff on there. As of now, I can tell you a few screenings for your viewers if they're interested. We have PopCon International Film Festival that's going to be taking place July 8th to 11th. And Pictures Up Film Festival that's taking place July 9th and 8th. That one's in LA. PopCon International Film Festival is in Indianapolis. And then we also have Oregon Scream Week that's taking place July 16th to 17th. And the last one this month is Indie Horror Film Festival. I believe that one is an online festival. The other three are in person. But anyone that's listening, just feel free to follow us on, as I said, @TheRageFilm on Instagram, or on Facebook. Just type in The Rage. And our username is, I'm just looking too on our Facebook page, the username is @TheRageFilm. So yeah, if you guys want to keep post with any updates, make sure to go follow us there. And as I said, if you guys want to check me out on Instagram on my personal account, it's Geek Out Cinema.
Awesome. And also, just for our audience, check out the YouTube channel. He's got some great interviews. He's interviewed some really cool names. I totally enjoy all the stuff you've done on there. So
thank you. And yeah, I know I've been on a hiatus for a long time. I haven't really been doing a lot, but I've been focused on other stuff a bit right now. I mean, just working and doing like little side things. Like I started playing the drums again, so that's fun. But
oh, nice.
Just like, I am coming back because I've been talking to people that I want to get on like as a guest on the show. So I will be publishing more content soon. So hang tight.
That's awesome. So thank you very much, Steven, for taking the time to come on. The Rage is awesome, and we're super happy to see how much success it's had, and we can't wait to see what you do next in your career.
Thanks again, guys, for having me. I appreciate it. It's been great.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much, Steven, for
thank you,
for
Steven.
coming on. We really appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate it too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Best of
take
luck.
care.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta talk to you about something because it's making me nuts. I'm werewolf.